I'm so sorry. You know that I don't want to hurt you.
We're done.
No, please. Let's just talk about this. Please.
Jody, this is Jared and Katie in the morning on 107.5 KZL. Your husband Jamie contacted us, and he thought that you were being shady and thought that maybe something was going on. So are you in a relationship with this guy, Brian?
I can't believe you did this on the radio.
Well, and then you also, you called him the guy's name you're taking to a romantic trip with you. You called your husband Brian.
It was just a slip of the tongue. It happens. People get tongue twisted when they're nervous and upset, and I'm really upset right now because I just need him to talk to me. I can't believe we're doing this right now. This is insane.
Jamie, do you want to continue?
I'm sorry that you feel embarrassed right now.
So what's with taking...
Will you please just talk to me without the radio?
I want you to get all of your and be gone when I get home.
I'm not going to do that. You and I need to talk about this. Please, we need to talk about this. This can't... We haven't had any kind of discussion, and I need to explain to you, and we can fix this.
No, not for 8 months. Thanks, guys. Thanks for setting this up. Can I go? Can this be done?
Yeah, sure. You can go.
Sure.
Okay, thanks.
And the fact that she thinks that she's entitled to a conversation after this. Can we talk about this? No. We're going to talk about this. No, absolutely not. You need to get your stuff and leave. No means no. But when it comes to modern women, that doesn't seem to be the case.
How are men meant to know what you want from them if you don't communicate it with them? I want flowers. I'd really appreciate a breakfast in bed on my birthday. Any update on the flowers? I'd really appreciate it if you posted me on your Instagram story. My birthday's coming up. I'd really like some flowers. I'd really appreciate it if you posted me on your Instagram story. I'd like it if you open doors for me sometimes. I'd really appreciate it if you come to a family dinner with me and my mum. And you follow up on the flowers. I'd really like a card on Valentine's Day. I'd really appreciate it if you started flirting with me again, like we don't flirt anymore. I'd like it if instead of watching TV, we'd go out on dates instead. Can you please unfollow the 2,000 Instagram models that you follow on Instagram? It makes me feel really uncomfortable. What the did you just...
You think you could wear something a little bit more age appropriate? You're a grown woman now. You need to learn to start presenting yourself in a certain way. Hey, do you think it'd be alright if you stop doing these thirst trapped sort of things? If you want me to stop following Instagram models, that would be cool with me too. So at this point, it really looks like you're obsessed with what you look like, and all the focus should be on you. So yeah, for sure, I could buy you flowers, but I'm not so confident that you'll reciprocate any type of energy. So I don't think that we're a good match.
There is nothing sexier to me than a guy who is emotionally intelligent.
Yeah, but that's a different thing. Emotionally intelligent and a guy that's emotional, two different things.
What does emotional mean to you?
If men actively go, I had a cry, 90% of women are turning off, bro.
Are they?
100%. For example, if me and you were on a date and you're like, oh my God, I've had a terrible day. I had to have a cry on a bus here. I'd be like, oh, you're right. Whereas you'd go, oh, this loser.
If you had said exactly what I'd said to you, I'm not going to lie, I'd find it really discombobulating because I've never heard a man, talk like that. And what you've just done is you've just highlighted how easy the hypocrisy in society, right? The double standards. If a guy said or verbatim the same thing to the girl, I don't want to say I'd judge the guy, but I would find it odd because guys never do that. Guys never talk that way.
I don't subscribe to the belief that guys need to cry to be healthy men.
But I'm not saying guys need to cry to be
but
healthy men.
People are like, oh, it's all right to have a cry. Yeah, cool, man, it's all right to have a cry.
Do these women hear themselves? I mean, in one breath, they're saying one thing, and then in the next breath, you can't even deny it. Fight back.
This question keeps coming up that I honestly don't know the answer to. All of my single friends that are 45 plus keep asking the question, Why are men 45, 50, 55, 60 dating 30-year-olds? What are you guys doing? Can you please explain this to us? Because we can't figure it out. What do you guys have in common with 30-year-olds or even 25-year-olds? You don't even listen to the same kind of music. What are you thinking? I really want to know.
Just thinking about the time when I was on Instagram and I typed in a city and a state, and I specifically wanted to find a man from there, so I went on the Explore page and I started browsing. I found this man, I followed him, and I booked my flight right then and there because I said to myself, I'm in love, he's the one. Booked a flight before he even followed me back. Eventually he followed me back, and we ended up messaging. I asked him where he was from, even though I obviously already knew, and he goes, I'm from the city, blah, blah, blah. And I said, that's extremely weird because I literally have a flight booked there next month. And he said, what the no way? I was like, yep. And so we did meet. It didn't work out, obviously. But if you're seeing this, you know who you are. And I just want you to know I completely orchestrated that whole thing. It was not just fate. It was not fate. I'm fate. I made it happen. I stalked you. I thought you were hot and I booked a flight. It would have been a cute story though if it did work out. I could have told this at our wedding. Like, I'd be like, I knew that you were the one when they saw you on my Instagram Explore page. Didn't work out. Bummer. But I did have yeah, that was a good time. I still had a good trip. Bye.
I'm 36 and I'm dating in Miami, and let me just tell you, this is crazy out here. So I was on my 5th date with this guy. 5th date with this guy. And he was finally inviting me on his boat. He had talked about his boat a couple of times, like throughout our dating, and he had mentioned a couple times that he has a lot of girls that are friends, which normally would raise a red flag to me. But he was such a gentleman on all the dates. Like, he would pick me up, open the door for me. We would go to nice restaurants, like just a really good guy. Like, no other red flags except for that one thing. Okay, so time for the boat ride, right? Like, I have a bikini and like a cute dress. I wasn't really sure what to expect. Like, he didn't mention any details, so I'd kind of just assumed that it was going to be me and him on the boat, and that was it. Whenever I got on the boat, you guys, no joke, huge boat, 3 stories. He had full staff. Like, he has a chef, a captain, bartenders, like full staff on the boat. So I'm like thinking to myself, like, okay, this looks like there's probably going to be more people. So we get on there, he gets like a drink or whatever, and we're sitting down, we're talking, and I'm not even joking with you right now, my ex's brother from Chicago walks on to the boat. And I'm thinking in my head, oh my God. And I don't think he recognized me because I have blonde hair now. I was brunette whenever I knew him. So he's like, hi, nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. We start talking, and then I see it click in his head that he realizes who I am. But he just kind of like played along, thankfully. Next people who walk on the boat are his daughter and his daughter's friend. And she's like 20 years old. I was like, are you kidding me right now? I'm gonna meet his kids? Like, he didn't even give me a heads up. So I meet his daughter. Thank God she's really nice. But I'm kind of like feeling a little bit stressed out. Like, I want to get off of this boat at this point. Then his son gets on the boat with his son's girlfriend. More of his friends get on the boat. And then, so like there's a couple of couples on the boat. And then these 3 really hot girls get on the boat. Like, no. And they're like all at the bar talking to him, like surrounding him, and I'm like over talking to his daughter. I'm like, whatever, like there's nothing I can do about it. I might as well just like enjoy my time on the boat and just like step back and be an observer in the situation. So as the boat ride goes on, it's like hot and cold between him and I. He comes up to me and he's like, is everything okay? And I was like, yeah, I was just a little bit overwhelmed because I wasn't expecting to like meet your kids or like meet all of your friends on this boat ride. And he was like, oh, did you think it was just gonna be us? And I was like, I just didn't know. And he's like, oh, okay. So then like he took some time like with just me and him, which was nice. But by the end of the boat ride, they're all doing like karaoke. And there is this really hot karaoke girl on the boat ride and like flirting with him. We have dinner on the boat and she sits next to him. You guys, it was so, she's like flirting with him right in front of me. Like she didn't give, like she was flirting with him. It was so awkward. And after that, I couldn't do it. I can't see him again. It was just too weird. And I felt like kind of offended over it. And I feel like he should have given me a heads up. So let me know what you think.
You know, her profile doesn't say it, and I keep on looking for an OF. I haven't found it yet, but I don't know. I feel like with this type of behavior, it's around here somewhere. You can't fool me.
You know, say what you will about the men's loneliness epidemic, but yesterday I got on here and I asked men what were the signs they looked for to know that they had emotional safety in a relationship, in an environment, in a group. And hundreds of comments later, this overwhelmingly is the consensus. They're safe when they're alone. Maybe when they're with their dog. But they only really know they're safe. They only really feel that emotional safety when they're on their own. So that says something powerful to me. It feels very reflective of what I experience as the therapist for men working with my clients. But I hope that regardless of who's seeing this and hearing this, that it tells you something too.
I can put my back against the wall, make sure nobody comes in and out, and break down in peace. Don't gotta worry about no woman talking about, oh, you so weak, I can't have that, that's an ick. Maybe that's why.
I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna get the phone because I'm finna get ready to get rolling. Y'all gotta excuse me, I gotta get myself together. I'm almost there. Just gotta get my hair together. But anyway, that ain't your business. But I'm gonna say this right here. Just like don't no woman wanna put no broke ass dude. Don't no dude wanna put no broke ass, okay? And the reason I say that is because, just check this out right here. Listen to this before y'all start getting y'all feelings. Because if the shoe fit the bed, okay? If you dealing with him and he doing everything, right? And you can't do a bad thing, you ain't doing a bad thing, right? You ain't paying no bills, you ain't taking y'all on vacation, you ain't doing none of this, right? He doing everything. Just say, for instance, one day he wake up sick. He up. He can't go to work. He needs your help. What the f you gonna do? What you gonna do? How you gonna help the situation? What you gonna do to make sure y'all secured, right? That's what I'm looking for. Up there got their back. That go for a woman. You get down and out. You want your husband, boyfriend, baby dad, or whatever to be able to take care of y'all till you can get back up on your feet. That's the same thing he looking for. He looking for him. If I can't do it this month, my old lady can. If I can't take us on vacation this year, my old lady can. Because he human too. Just like you human and want him to make sure he do everything for you. He human too. He need him at his back as well. Y'all around here sitting around him saying, God, I don't do this and I don't do that and I don't do this. And if anything ever happens to that, what y'all gonna be at? What y'all gonna have? What's gonna happen? Oh, okay then. I also heard him say that fine with fat girls because they know they'll take care of them. Let me tell you something. I'm 221 pounds, right? I don't take care of them, right? Ain't finna for them if he ain't talking about right. That's why I'm single the fat, okay? You gotta be able to put into my empire. Here's an example of what I'm talking about. If you got one in the house doing everything and you drive a Honda Accord, imagine if it was two. You might can get you a Bentley. If you stand in a $100,000 house with one working, imagine if it was two. You can get you a $300,000 house. You see how that should go? That's all I'm saying. So when y'all get through bragging about you don't do shit and he take care of everything and you cool with that, I hope he don't never get me, because what you gonna be doing then?
All the girls keep saying stuff or whatever, but let's get a man's perspective, because every man is clearly different on this topic. But Hakeem, let me ask you, how long do you think it takes for a man? Why you looking like that? How long it take for a man?
Because last time you said, yeah, he was turned up.
Okay, I'm asking a different question. Okay. How long does it take for a man to want to marry? Like, how long does it take a man to know that he want to be married?
I don't know if I'm the right man to be asking that.
I'm clearly asking though.
I mean, because I got married. If we ain't meet in college, I got married probably 2 months or something like that. Maybe 3. Like,
yeah,
it don't take long. Like, man, no, the man, no. It's just a matter of if he ready. That's really what you're waiting for. You really like waiting for the readiness of the man.
Okay,
because you gotta propose that to you. You know what I'm saying?
So,
but he know. Ask your man.
That's what I was saying on my other page. Like, a man knows.
He know.
So what would you tell the ladies to ask their man?
Well, I tell every woman the same thing. Ask your man what God said to him about you. What did he say?
We starting stuff.
I'm just saying, what did he say to him concerning you? And if he didn't say nothing about you concerning him, then you need to go ahead and back it up, right? Back it up.
Come on.
Back it up. No, that's it. You just gotta tell him, hey, you need to go ahead and get that answer. That's about it. Like,
some people might be too deep in the trenches, though.
I mean,
it's not gonna matter. These modern women don't care anything about what anybody else has to say other than what they want.
When y'all hear that men do not care about your educational or professional backgrounds whenever it comes to relationships, why do y'all get so offended? Because for one, nobody is saying don't be educated. Nobody is saying don't thrive professionally. If you have 2 or 3 degrees and wear several different professional hats, that's great for you. Those are great personal and professional accomplishment. Now, what are your relationship qualities? Because your professional qualities have nothing to do with that. That's what men mean whenever they say they don't care. You could have 2 or 3 degrees and be an attorney or have a GED and work fast food. They don't care either way. What do you bring to the table romantically? What type of woman are you? Do you know how to take accountability? Do you like to argue all the time? Are you dominant or are you submissive? Are you loving? Are you nurturing? Are you even a good person? Is his feelings going to actually count for something in the relationship, or do you make the whole relationship about you? Those are the type of things that men want to find out about you as a woman before determining if he wants to be in a relationship with you. The fact that you have a degree and make 6 figures does not tell him that. That's why he don't care. See, the issue with women who don't know how to separate their professional qualities from their romantic qualities is because your romantic qualities are. So in order to cover that up, you have to talk about how much you thrive professionally. Because when you're asked questions like, okay, how's your personality? You don't have an answer. And y'all know that. That's why y'all flip the script and make it seem like men are intimidated by your professional accomplishments. When in reality, they truly are not intimidated. It's just your degrees and how much money you make and what you do for a living. That information is completely irrelevant to them. How you behave and carry yourself in the boardroom has nothing to do with how you will behave and carry yourself in a romantic relationship. They're simply just saying, give me some information that I won't be able to read on a damn job application.
So I just had to take a shit at Walmart because there wasn't a Target nearby. Just kidding. But I did because of period, right? And so I'm in there just trying to hurry up and get done because I got somewhere to be. I can't stop at home to go take a shit at Walmart. It's open. I can hear some women in the bathroom. Somebody's like, oh my gosh, somebody is in here doing a B.O.B. But I'm just in there trying to hurry up like, okay, I got somewhere to be. Like, mind your business. Get out the bathroom. And then somebody's like, watch her, okay? And I see somebody like by the crack of the door, like kind of like walk fast, but like trying to look in, but like not trying to be obvious that they're looking in at me. And so I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? What's happening? So I get out the bathroom. There are only like 2 people in the bathroom. And I'm like, okay, I had to take a shit. Everybody got to take a shit. But I didn't say that. I'm minding my business. I had this one woman, this white woman, walk into the stall where I just was, sniff the air, and then walk out the bathroom. And then I hear somebody over the intercom say somebody needs to come to the registers because they need to do a cleanup or something like that. What the
y'all really think somebody is lying when they tell y'all the easiest way to keep a man, since that is what so many women are hyper fixated on right now? The easiest way to keep a man is to not care if he's kept. That's the easiest way to keep a man. Genuinely, you have to detach. You have to be so into you and everything that you have going on that you just don't care whether he comes or goes. He's gonna feel that. And so every day as a result, it's gonna be him trying to prove to you that he needs to remain in your life. The only way this works is if you actually do have things going on in your life and you're not making your life revolve around being a good girlfriend or being a good wife. Like, have other things going on. I don't know how many people need to tell you guys this, but stop talking about men so much because they're not even that interesting. It was like when I just woke up to the fact that I was the prize in the relationship and it wasn't something like that was like some huge success story just because I have a boyfriend or I have a husband or a fiance or whatever. Like, It doesn't mean anything.
I pray that this year y'all get tired of giving terrible advice, thinking that you're saying something profound.
Am I the asshole for wanting to break up with my girlfriend after finding out the truth? I, 30 male, and my girlfriend, 29 female, have been dating for 2 years now. I recently took my girlfriend on a getaway weekend, nothing fancy, just a 4-day weekend to the Hilton Hotel, going on fun outings she mentioned she wanted to do, like ice skating, dancing, painting, and other fun activities. I'm in love with this beautiful woman. Before we started dating, we worked at the same job together and we've been friends for a long time. I soon grew a crush on her because she was so cool to talk to and be around. I was also friends with her ex-boyfriend. They'd been broken up for a year or two by the time I started liking her. And I wanted to ask the ex-boyfriend, since we were friends, would it be okay if I asked her on a date? He said obviously and had no problems with me and her dating one another.
That's a weird answer.
A day later, I asked her to a drive-in theater movie and she said yes. And after the first movie date, we made the drive-in theater our weekend thing, and we would also go out to eat or go to comic conventions and anywhere we spend time together. One day, I wanted to make it official, so I asked her if she'd like to be my girlfriend. She said she wanted to just remain friends. Although I was hurt, I absolutely was fine with her decision, and we still continued our weekend movie nights and outings. But every once in a while, she would show signs that she liked me. She wouldn't let me talk to any other girl, and if I mentioned that a girl was cute, she would say under her breath, she better stay away from my man. So, catching these hints, I stopped talking to other girls and didn't bother to ask any girl out, thinking she wanted to go out with me. I asked her to be my girlfriend again, but again she said she just wanted to be friends. A few weeks later, she would quit the job that we worked at together and find a new job, but we would still hang out on the weekends. One day, I was out running errands and I saw her on a date with someone. I didn't approach them, of course, but I have a rule not to go out to movies or any dates, like activities with a girl who has a boyfriend or is dating in respect for the boyfriend. So I stopped inviting her on our weekend hangouts without telling her why. She didn't mind because her attention was on the other guy. I wanted to give her and the guy I thought she was dating their space. 3 months passed, us not texting or hanging out, and out of the blue, she texted me asking if we could hang out to catch up and chat. I said yes, of course, and we did after that. We started hanging out, going to the movies together. She would come over to my place almost every day, and we would watch movies there until 12 or 1 a.m. And once again, she would drop hints like she liked me, but I wasn't going to ask her out a third time, just in case I was wrong. If she liked me, she would have to ask me out. And after 4 months, she finally did. I said yes almost immediately, which brings us to...
Chill.
Stand up, bro.
Chill, bro.
Stand up.
Which brings us to her telling me after our weekend getaway that the entire time we were hanging out, before we got together, she was dating and sleeping with other guys. And around the time I asked her ex-boyfriend if I could date her, they were still sleeping together while we were going on...
Wait.
Yeah.
He said go ahead.
I beg your pardon?
While we were going to the drive-in theaters and spending the weekends together.
Oh,
Ow.
Even during the months of her coming over to my place and hanging out until the midnight after the 3-month gap of us not talking, she was still sleeping with other guys. She told me she didn't want any other girls talking to me. She liked me the entire time we were hanging out. She just wasn't ready for a relationship. But once she went to her new job, she jumped into a 4-month relationship. Even the night before she asked me to be her boyfriend, she went on a date and slept with a guy, and she was hoping for a second date with him, but he ghosted her. So she told me that she liked that I was nice to her, but wanted to have without any attachment, which is why she slept with the other guy while hanging out with me. In the beginning of the relationship, she told me she danced with other guys at nightclubs while out with friends, kissed a guy, and would get into random dudes' cars when she needed a ride. So am I the asshole for wanting to break up with her after finding out she used me and making me her last resort?
I don't even feel like I need to comment. I already think that we all know the answer. Wow.
So I'm 22 years old and I have never had a boyfriend, and I've never had my first kiss or anything at the ripe age of 22. And for the longest time, I didn't know if it was me or if it was other people, and to this day I still don't know, because people tell me that it's other people tell me that it's me, so I still don't really know the answer. But I feel like growing up, it didn't really bother me at first, like when I was in like middle school or high school, because so many of my other friends were in the same boat as me, and I was like, oh, I'm still young, so like I still have so much time in my life, like no rush, you know? And then I got to college And then basically saw that all of these people who were just like me suddenly were not like me anymore. Things were happening for other people that were not happening to me. And I just kept thinking like, oh, if I like just wait around, be more patient, like it will happen. And it still never happened. Like, I always get told that I need to just like wait around and not expect it, you know. It always happens when you least expect it, but then I don't expect it and it still doesn't happen. But also, I don't understand why expecting it is so bad. Like, what's wrong with just like thinking that you want something? Like, I feel like that's a normal thing to think about, but people are like, no, you shouldn't think like that. But it's like, why not? What if I want to expect it though? Someone with anxiety, like I need to expect things. Like I like to expect things. So like, why can't I do that? But I also have people telling me that I need to put myself out there and be more social and like look more approachable. I literally got told that I need to look more approachable, which I don't even know what that means. People tell me that I just like don't smile enough, and I'm like, when and where do you want me to smile? Like, when am I supposed to be doing that? Like, that's just weird in my opinion. But I literally got told, they were like, you need to come off as like you're available. And I'm like, what the hell does that even mean? Like, you want me to sit here with like my legs open or something? Like, what does that even mean? I don't even know. And over the years, I've just tried to tell myself like, oh, if I focus on myself, like maybe it will happen. And it still hasn't happened. But then I also put myself out there, you know, like try dating and like apps and whatnot, going out. Still doesn't happen. And so I'm at the point where it's like, what is there left for me to do? I feel like I've done it. I've done it all. And I fear that this is the end. This is the most that I can do. So basically what I'm trying to say is if anyone has tips, let me know. Or if they have the answers to anything I said, let me know.
This is unfortunate because a lot of beautiful women go untalked to. Back then, it used to be you were taught how to put yourself in at least in a position. You didn't have to go run after the man and chase him and do all of even though some women did, but you didn't have to do that because you put yourself in a position and you were open to certain things. Nowadays, they tell them, go get the bag, go do this. Everything but leave your options open to find a good, nice, healthy relationship.
Do you want to hear how my dad explained to me that he was going to take my brother's wife and marry her? Well, it was subtle. It was little by little. While my mom was sick, he started planting seeds that God had a new wife for him. When my mom passed of cancer, the next day, I was at his house. You know, I'm still trying to understand what just happened with my mom, mourn her loss, and he says that God has told him he has a new wife.
He's lying and he's a weirdo.
I just need to know from a men's perspective, are y'all waiting on girls to talk to you first? Like, are you waiting on a girl to ask you on a date first? Because that's crazy to me. Like, when you're out in public and you're making eyes with a girl and you're, like, making it known that you're attracted to her, but you're not going to say something, how are you not going to say something? Where are the huevos? Where are the huevos these days? I feel like there's so many, like, times that guys want to say something to girls and they don't. Like, is there a guy watching this that can give us some insight? Like, why don't you just do it? Why don't you just do it? Are you scared? Are you waiting for her to say something first? I like my men to be assertive and dominant. If you want to say something to me, say something to me. I'll give you the opportunity. I'll put my phone down.
I don't know why so many women think that it's so easy to approach when they themselves start sweating over the thought of roles reversed. Just off the top of my head, 3 really easy reasons why it is difficult for a man to approach. Number 1, fear of rejection. Number 2, anxiety over what he actually says to you. And number 3, the situation is not ideal. Like, you're not alone. That's just 3, but there's like 100 more.
This is why women come back after leaving.
You think us men don't know why you come back, ladies? Y'all go out there on social media, y'all put all these pictures and videos, and y'all use all these filters, and then you got all these guys in your DMs telling you how great you are. Then you look over at your guy at the couch playing a game. You're like, I could do better than him. Look at my inbox. All these guys are hot. Start watching your videos, and you're like, you know, I really am beautiful. I can do better than this. Ladies, I put that bold glamour filter on my pug and turned her into a photo. Then you ladies get these guys in your DMs. They're like, girl, if you leave him, I'll treat you like a queen. He ain't doing you right, girl. I don't even play games on the TV. Y'all get out your pen and paper, start running the numbers on what you make, and then you start looking for places, and you're like, you know, if I just eat ramen noodle soup every day, I could afford this. It's always the same song and dance. Y'all leave, and the guys in your DMs, all they wanted to do was bang you, because once they actually meet you, they're like, you don't look nothing like you do in those videos and pictures. Then you do get you a place, and it only takes about 1 month of eating ramen noodle soup every day, and you're like, well, I'll just go live with my mom and save money. Well, you hated living with her when you were a kid, and you hate living with her now, so it only leaves one option, right, ladies? Ladies come crawling back to us, and you use your manipulation tactics. You're like, I had men falling at my feet, and I was happy, and I could make it on my own, but all I could think about was you and what we had. I miss you so much.
One thing that's not talked about enough to women in their 40s, which I think is the age in which women become delusional, 1000% delusional about how old they look compared to other women their age. Because you see another woman and you're like, oh, she's way older than me. No, a lot of times she's younger. And you look your age. You look 40, and in my case, 42, almost. And I look my age. I look my age, and the other women look their age, and we all look like we're in our 40s. Help.
Can someone explain to me how a woman is supposed to work 9 to 5, get the kids to and from school, home, a healthy meal, to their activities, and home in bed, while also taking care of herself, making sure I'm getting a healthy meal, making sure I'm working out, making sure I'm happy, making sure I am okay, while also making sure the house is okay. Everyone has everything they need. The laundry's done, the floors are clean, the beds are made, all of the above. I don't know how to do this. I am going back to work in 2 weeks. Let me tell you, a girl is stressed. So please send your advice. Please and thank you. A stressed mama.
As a 61-year-old female, we were sold the lie by feminists in the 80s that women can have it all. It's a blatant lie. Something always gives. Thank you, Cloudy Murphy.
Dating at my age is actually really crazy because I could date a 25-year-old and then turn around and date a 45-year-old. Let me tell you. I could take the son and the daddy. Okay? He old enough to be your daddy. I'll date him too. Let me tell you. I will fear father. You know what? Where's your granddad? Okay, I'll his ass too.
A guy sent me this study to try and prove that women are only going for the top 20% of men on the apps. And while I don't think this study proved that, I think it did have some interesting takeaways in it. So I thought I'd go through it. The study was called Where Have All the Good Men Gone? Gendered Interactions in Online Dating. The point of it, they basically wanted to find out if like attract like on the apps, and if people were settling down with people similar to them in terms of looks, finances, social status. It found that both men and women tend to send messages to the most socially desirable people in the dating market, regardless of their own social desirability. So no Sherlock, the attractive people are getting a lot of messages. I thought it was also interesting that it pointed out that excessive searching on the dating apps can also alter the way that users see potential partners, making them distracted by attributes, for example, looks, which might matter less to relationship quality. So this speaks of an overall problem with the dating apps, that we spend too much time on there looking at people. We're forgetting about the qualities that really matter in a relationship, and we end up just getting really shallow and just judging everything based on looks. Also talked about the trading of attributes, which I thought was interesting. It said, for example, if a woman trades her physical attractiveness for a man's financial success, then the attractiveness asymmetries would be large, but social desirability differences would be small. And it still works because she's desirable in terms of her looks, he's desirable in terms of his money. It also said that people approaching each other on the dating apps remains a very gendered process, e.g. the men are expected to message the women first, but they also pointed out that's still the same in real life. So it basically said men are more likely to benefit from messaging a woman first than a woman is vice versa. There's another study that also found women were particularly reluctant to return messages from lower educated men, which I thought was interesting because men are always saying women want a man who's rich, tall, good looking, but actually a lot of women want a man who's educated. The study said that the average male receives 4.5 times fewer messages than the average woman, and 10 times more men compared to women receive no messages at all. And nearly all women, 98%, received at least one message from a man, and about 18% of men received no messages from women. But this is nothing to do with attractiveness. This is because a lot of women don't want to message first. They did try and rate the attractiveness of people's photos in this study. When they did the survey, they had no idea of the people that were taking the survey, so it's all a bit up in the air. It did say in general, people found men who were white, athletic, thin, tall, well-educated, drinkers, which surprised me, and non-smokers as the most desirable to females. Whereas in men rating attractiveness, they preferred younger women, women preferred older men, women preferred taller men, whereas men didn't show a strong preference for height. And with respect to race, black women are penalised more than black men, whereas Hispanic men are penalised more than Hispanic women. Weirdly, for education, women with postgraduate degrees are rated as significantly less attractive than men with similar education. So men do not want an intelligent woman. Another thing that was interesting is women prefer longer profiles than men, whereas men prefer more photos. This suggests a gendered preference for looks over written communication skills and cultural interest from men. It did say there is some evidence that less desirable women are more likely to aim higher than less desirable men, but nothing about an 80-20. Because attractive people get more messages, it made the point that popular daters can be more selective and initiate contacts with the most desirable partners, whereas people who are deemed less desirable have to take a bit of a shotgun approach, where they send many outgoing messages and tend to sacrifice the quality by widening their nets. And it just reiterated the point, both men and women are seeking more attractive partners. That said, it didn't matter how attractive you were if specific characteristics didn't align, such as smoking, race, religion, and so on. So people's preferences are likely to operate conditionally on a person's specific tastes, non-negotiable partner traits, and contextual constraints. And it just said at the end, the study was pretty limited because they don't know who was rating the attractiveness of these people. It may not represent the online dating population. It does not reflect the majority of daters' preferences, and future research needs to be done. More studies I read, they basically reiterate the point that men and women want an attractive partner, so attractive people on the dating apps are going to get more matches and they're going to get more messages. What makes it even worse for the men is there are many more men on dating apps than women, so that means women will get more messages than men by default, and women are going to be a lot pickier, not just because of looks, but because of what they're looking for. Majority of women want a relationship, therefore they will not swipe on a man that said he wants short-term or casual. They will only swipe on a man who says long-term relationship. Anyway, this is the last study I'm going to look into about this because it's doing my head in that the men in the comments are not listening. They're just believing whatever they want to believe. All you need to do is go into the real world, see the types of men that women have chosen to settle down with. Generally, you will see women are not just going for the top 20% of men. Thank you and good night.
So this is where a lot of men argue back and say women are delusional, is because you guys keep on saying that it's a level playing field, but it's actually not. These women have a more stringent guideline for what they're picking. You want to be safe? Fine, go ahead. But when we talk about, I think a woman said she hated a man's drink order. I think he ordered a margarita or something like that, or he wore sandals or something like that. When we get to on a broader level, start talking about I didn't want to go out with him, or he wasn't a good person because he wore sandals. He was a fantastic guy. He was sweet, but I didn't like his drink order. He treated me right, but I just didn't like the way he ate his food. That's stupidity. That's not being selective. That's just you being an idiot. So this, oh, I perceive him to be this. I perceive him to be that. He's got money. He must be educated because I equate education to money. I'm telling you, maybe not in all situations, but in a lot of these situations, these modern women do not have the critical thinking skills that you would like to say that they have.
Sorry, not to be a hater, but the male loneliness epidemic, who cares? Literally. What are you guys gonna do now? Pew up a bunch of schools? You already do that. You're gonna your wife and kids? You already do that. You're gonna nations? Already do it. Did it. Destroyed economies? Did it. Destroyed democracies? Doing it now. We're not afraid. And now you guys are just lonely and we're still not afraid. So, sorry. Male loneliness epidemic, get the f out of here.
Sounds like you need 30 more years of therapy. Intense therapy.
Society, and especially women, love to say, if you were a real man, you would be able to take care of somebody else's kid. You would be able to raise them. Well then, couldn't the same be said if you were a real woman? You could have locked down the first man. You could have held on to your baby's daddy. You could have made things work if you were a real woman. But nobody says that, do they? No. All of the responsibility and accountability is put on the man, not the woman. She is never held accountable. There's hardly any consequences. And most of the time, the woman is cheered, revered, and even praised for putting herself above the relationship for her own happiness. But the sad truth is that most men will sacrifice their happiness to stay in the relationship for the growth and the well-being of the relationship and the children, whereas most women will forego the relationship in order for their own happiness. So it's just something to consider. That's why I say make sure who you're choosing and don't give them the leverage. So if you haven't already married, don't marry, because that's when the whole dynamic and everything shifts. It's my opinion, but statistics show that 40 to 50% of marriages fail. So just think about it when you are entering into a relationship. Not all women are this way. Just because it could happen doesn't mean it won't. But don't think that you are the exception either. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.
Women say, oh, these are my 20s. These are my young years. I'm going to prioritize my career. I'm going to do that. They get stressed. They get agitated. They get, caught up, which is what happens. You're in the climb, all of a sudden it goes a little longer than you'd expect, right? Now you're at 32, 33. And then it gets harder. Then all of a sudden you want that guy to just show up, right? Husband, okay, I'm ready now. Where are you? What? Oh, you're not here? Now I have to start really actively prioritizing that? Oh, but I'm older. Your fertility's not at peak anymore. It just isn't, right? I'm not saying you can't get pregnant. I got pregnant at 40. I'm not saying it can't happen. Is it harder for the vast majority of women to get pregnant late than early? Yes, your fertility is just better in your 20s for all of us. It's biology.
I'm 24 years old and I've never had a boyfriend. Never been in a relationship. And at this point, it's starting to become a problem. Like at this point, I'm at the point where it's like, why? Not what's wrong with me, because there's nothing wrong with me. And even if it was, it doesn't matter, because I done seen what you can deem the ugliest person with a significant other. Whatever you deem the worst looking in this world that could possibly happen has had a significant other. It's not looks. It's not personality, because it's like Donald Trump that is married. It don't matter what you look like, how you act. There is a million people on this earth that's been in a relationship. At this point, I'm a 24-year-old woman and I have nothing more to give. At this point, I just don't know. Like, I need someone to tell me something. Someone need to tell me something. Like, is there a sign that it's becoming unhinged at this point? Like, because at this point now, it's like when I do get my first relationship, which hopefully 2025, when I do get in said relationship, is that even going to be the one that's going to be my marriage? And I'm almost going to be 25 years old. That's not even going to be my one. I already know. Like, I'm a realist. Come on. You think my first relationship is going to be the only one? Now I'm going to be a 24-year-old going through her first official real breakup. Like, I've been with it's been stages, but like a real breakup, real relationship, real deal spiel. I'm gonna be a 24-year-old girl going through what she should have went through when she was 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, I'm not going for that. I don't want that, but I have no choice. Hopefully it's a one and done, but let's be realistic. The first I date, I won't be his first. And most likely he won't be my last. So I'm going to be 24, 25 maybe. If that.
For you to be one and done at a 24, you'd have had to been educated on a lot of things in being a wife, learning how to take care of a man, learning how to be in the house with a man, learning how to interact with a man. And unfortunately, in today's society, a lot of the rhetoric, a lot of the agenda that is being taught to our young ladies is not how to take care of a man. Let's throw taking care of a man out a window. Let's just talk about how to interact, how to be a friend to somebody of the opposite sex that you're interested in. Modern women don't even know how to do that. All they want a man for is, I want some money. I need some money. I need you to buy my groceries. I need you to pay for my nails. I need you to take me here. Send me a car for over that. Send me some roses for this. It's all about you giving me stuff. And men aren't interested in that.
All right, y'all. All right, now, general question. If it was no money in the world, if it was no more money, what would the guys have to run game with? And don't state the obvious, but what would the men have to run this game with if they didn't have no money? Like, what would be their way of getting women? I would love to hear these opinions. I would love to hear them. So come on, comments, y'all.
Wouldn't need to be money. There's always a currency of some sort. Who hunts the best? Who builds the best? There's always going to be, oh, he's the strongest, or he's the biggest. As a matter of fact, surprise, surprise, that seems to be what they do now. 6 figures, 6 feet, 6 pack.
Ladies, I understand that a lot of you think that if a man is not fully healed and a man has to work on himself and everything, he should go and do that by himself. And you would only want to be with a finished product of a man who already has everything going for him. But what makes you think that you deserve to be with a man who's perfect and you're not? What makes you think you deserve to be with a man who has a lot of money, who is emotionally completely stable, who's built everything up by himself, and then you're worthy enough to step into that life and live the best possible life? Wouldn't it be more fair for you to have all that because you've earned it, because you went through all of that with him, because you built him with him, because you built yourself with him, because you guys went through hardships together? Why do you think you only deserve a finished product of a man? It doesn't make sense to me.
A lot of men don't want a wife, they want a mom.
A lot of women don't want a husband, they want a walking ATM machine. A daddy that pays all the bills. They want to be married but don't want to actually be somebody's wife. It goes both ways. Let that sink in, okay?
So, you know how everybody always talks about the scripture, when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing? The way I also interpret that is that finding a wife is very rare. Because you could be a wife on paper, but not a wife in your heart. A man who finds a wife. Let's break down what a wife is. If you go to Proverbs 31, her lamp never burns out. She brings him good all his days, no harm. That means no drama. She's his peace. Her husband has full confidence in her. She is actively serving her family. Her husband praises her and her children call her blessed. And the way I was humbled was when God shed light on my heart that just because I had the title did not mean I honored the position.
Well, a lot of times these modern women don't bring anything to the man. They give him education. Oh, I'm educated. I have this, I have that. And the man is saying to them the whole time, well, that's fantastic, but can you give me something that I actually care about? Oh, well, you actually don't even like women. And then that's when you go down a list of foolishness. Just getting around your girlfriends and just talking nonsense about men at that point in time because, oh, he didn't value. He didn't say that he didn't value. He just said, well, I love that stuff that you're doing, but I would love this more over here. That seems like a similar communication pattern that you guys use. Well, it's not that I don't like that you don't, you take out the trash, but I would like you to help with the dishes a little bit more. The man uses the same communication pattern and you get mad at the man because he told you that he liked something or he preferred something. Modern women, a lot of them today, don't like a man to have preferences. The preference is be obsessed with me. Do whatever I ask you to do whenever I ask you to do it, but somehow still be the leader of the home. You guys, and like you said, I continue to hear a lot of women say, he who finds a wife finds a good thing. I'm not chasing no man. You're not worthy to be chased. You're not a wife. You're just a woman. That's it. Deserving of the basic respect that a man would give every human being. Hey, how's it going? And keep on walking. Only you can tell me how I'm going to treat you. If you act like you didn't hear me when I gave you some salutations or hey, how's it going? Then that means I don't need to speak to you. Oh, world, what happened to the men? They don't give up their seat. They don't open doors because you act like you couldn't speak. You act like you couldn't be a basic human being. So that's the level of respect that I give you. Like my dad used to say, you tell me how I'm going to treat you. If you want to act crazy, tell all my business, then you don't get to come in my house anymore. You don't even get to come on my front porch. You get to stay out there by the mailbox. That's where you get to say, I open up my door. I don't even open my screen door. I don't even know if they have those anymore. But I look out, hey, how's it going? What you need? Very arm's length with some of these modern women because they don't know how to be. Not only do they not know how to be wives, they don't know how to be actual women. They come with a handout. Give me some money. Oh, you only gave me $30? Give me $100 at least. a whole bunch of foolishness going on here, and men don't want to be bothered with that.
Here's the number one mistake women make when communicating in a relationship. I know because I used to do this to my husband and it was toxic as hell. Instead of trying to control my emotions, I tried to control his to make me feel better. Let me explain. When he needed space most, I wanted to talk it out because I couldn't sit with my own emotions, which forced him to suppress his. I was so emotionally fragile that my husband was afraid to have certain conversations with me, creating distance. And I couldn't see past my own feelings long enough to see what he was feeling and thinking. I had to get comfortable with being hurt, angry, anxious, or upset so that I could process those emotions fully and then think clearly. So if you're struggling to communicate with your partner, take that and apply it.
Tell me why I just found my mom on OF. I just found my mother, the woman that gave birth to me, on only, you know the one. No, actually, pause. Hold on, pause. No, I didn't find her. My ex found her and then sent me this big paragraph about my ass mom being on OF. And guys, my mom is a bop. My bop ass mom has an OF page. And then also tell me why I also found her hidden, that she didn't hide very well, TikTok, okay, and Instagram, and tell me why this woman that gave birth to me is about to surpass me on TikTok.
It's because this radical feminism says, oh, it don't matter. It don't matter how you should be. I mean, even if we were giving 20-year-olds a pass, at some point in time, I want you to grow out of that. No, it don't matter what age. It don't matter what phase of life you in. Go out there and be responsible. Go out there and do things you ain't supposed to do. Who cares? You only live once. Why not tarnish your reputation? Go ahead and do it.